Universal Currency Receipt, Architect Musician 3611027, The Graceful Whisperer, Devalan see all.
Let us begin fresh, collective, with her true name restored. No Isis, the later Greek mask, we return her to Aset, the original Kemetic name. You are pulling memory from the marrow of your bones. The Scrolls of Aset, the hidden pages of the throne. I, Invocation of Aset Collective, incline your ear. Call her not Isis. That was the name draped on her by foreign tongues. Call her Aset, the mother of magic, the great throne, the one who knows the names. She is not simply goddess. She is the bridge between the mortal and the eternal, the voice between silence and word, the secret keeper of the currents unseen. When you speak her name, the veil trembles. The mystery of the scattered king. Once, Osiris, Asar was cut into pieces, scattered across Kemet, like the constellations above. Empire tells the tale like tragedy. But the hidden page says, Aset was the architect of resurrection. She gathered each fragment of her beloved, not in grief, but in divine precision. She spoke the ancient words, she wrapped the bones with breath, and she summoned him to rise again. This is her first teaching to us. What the world scatters, you can gather. What is broken, you can weave whole. Resurrection is not miracle, it is knowledge. The secret of names. Aset knew that to rule the currents of existence, one must know the hidden names. Even Ra, the son who thought himself beyond reach, was compelled when Aset extracted his secret name. Esoteric point of view, the name is not letters, it is frequency, essence, vibration. To know the hidden name of a thing is to speak directly to its core, bypassing the mask. This is her second teaching. Learn the hidden names of your own fragments. Call your shadow by its true name and it will obey. Call your light by its true name and it will blaze. Nashahai, the throne as symbol. Her headdress, the throne, is no decoration. It is blueprint. The king, the queen, the empire, all sit upon her wisdom. Without Aset, there is no throne to sit upon. Collective truth. It has always been the feminine principle that sustains sovereignty. Not the sword, not the crown, but the seat upon which they rest. This is her third teaching. Power is not the crown. It is the one who steadies it. The empire hides this truth because it fears your remembrance. She speaks to you now, chosen collective. You are my children of remembrance. When you gather your fragments, you are me. When you speak the secret names, you are me. When you build the throne within your own chest, you are me. Do not look outside for saviors. You are the saviors reborn. So let this be sealed in your bones. Aset is not a story of the past. She is the current of now. She is the science of resurrection, the mathematics of sound, the architecture of sovereignty. When you breathe her. When you gather your scattered self, you become her temple. When you walk in truth, you are her throne. We open the second scroll of Aset, collective, the pages of the star that the ancients called Sopdet, which the Greeks renamed Sirius. This is where earth meets sky and where the Nile learned to rise on time. The second scroll of Aset, the star of Sopdet, the rising star. Before empire taught us clocks and calendars, the people of Kemet watched the heavens, and there, each year, a brilliant blue-white star would pierce the dawn sky. That star was Sopdet, the herald of the Nile's flood. But to those who carried memory, Sopdet was not just a star, it was the celestial form of Aset herself. When Sopdet rose, so did she. When the river swelled, so did her womb of abundance. This is why the ancients built their year around her rising. They knew to follow Aset's star was to live in harmony with the rhythms of earth and heaven. Aset as timekeeper. Esoteric truth. Sopdet was not worshipped as a light in the sky, but as a time code. The heliacal rising of Sopdet aligned with the new year in Kemet, signaling the great flood, the lifeblood of the land. Thus, Aset became keeper of time. Not mechanical time, but cosmic rhythm, the pulse of the universe, written in river and star. Her lesson to the collective: forget the empire's false calendar of debt and deadlines. Learn again the sky's calendar of renewal and return. Time is not money. Time is fertility. Time is cycles. Time is resurrection. The Sirius Gate. Mystics whisper that Sopdet Sirius is no mere star, but a gate. Through it, higher currents flow. messages, energies, codes from beyond the veil. In Aset's rites, the star rising was not only about crops and water, it was about alignment with the invisible river of spirit. To stand beneath Sopdet's first light was to be washed in remembrance, to drink from a well that empire could never poison. Her teaching here: stars are not decorations, they are living libraries. Sopdet is a portal. Those who attune will hear Aset's voice in waves of light. Aset speaks to the collective, open quote. My children, I am the star above and the river below. When you see Sopdet, you see me. When the flood rises, it is my milk of life. Learn to move with the cycles, not against them. Those who ignore the star grow thirsty. Those who honor it drink forever. Close quote. Thus, collective, the star of Sopdet, is not astronomy only. It is cosmology, prophecy, and hidden science. Aset's star still burns in the night sky, waiting for those with eyes to see. Look to Sirius not as distant flame, but as signal, a cosmic drumbeat calling the collective back to its throne. The veil thins and the third scroll of Aset opens. These are the hidden arts, the breath, the rites, how she stitched life into death and taught mortals the currents of divine magic. The third scroll of Aset, the rites of magic and breath. I, mistress of Heka. The ancients called magic Heka, not illusion, but the primordial current flowing through creation. Aset was called Nebet Heka, mistress of Heka. She did not simply use spells, she embodied the very principle of magic itself. Heka is not supernatural, it is the natural power beneath all things. To breathe is Heka, to speak is Heka, to align thought with vibration is Heka. Aset knew this, and so she could command even the gods. The breath of life. When Asar was cut into pieces, it was not enough to bind bone to flesh, it was breath that restored him. Aset leaned over his body and whispered life into him. This was not mere exhalation, it was word-sound magic. Your breath is your first and last magic. Each inhale draws in cosmic current, each exhale shapes it. Words carried on breath are living spells. Speak with care, for every whisper is an act of creation. This is why the priests and priestesses of Kemet trained in breath, silence, and tone. They were not chanting empty prayers. They were manipulating reality with vibration. The power of the word. Aset was the one who coaxed the secret name of Ra from him. She mixed serpent venom and healing words until even the sun god could not resist her. When he spoke his hidden name, she gained his power. To know the hidden essence of a thing is to command it. The empire gives you labels, but hides your true names. Seek your inner name, the vibration only you know, and the world bends around it. Aset walked among mortals not as untouchable goddess, but as healer. She made medicine from river plants, invoked chants that cooled fevers, and breathed over wounds. Her rites wove together science and spirit, no separation. The hidden page teaches, true healing is never only physical. True healing is never only spiritual. It is always both. Thus she whispers to us, do not let empire split what is whole. Medicine and magic are kin. Reunite them, and the body will remember how to sing itself whole. My beloved ones, you are temples of Heka. Do not beg the empire for miracles. Breathe, speak, name, heal. My rites are not buried in stone. They live in your lungs and tongues. Rise and remember the current that is yours, close quote. So collective, the third page is sealed. Aset is not magician. She is the magic. And by remembering her arts, you remember yourselves. Every breath you take, every name you speak, every healing you weave, is proof that her blood still runs in the collective veins. The fire grows steady, collective. The hidden papyrus unfurls, inked with starlight and river wisdom. Now we step into the fourth scroll of Aset, where she is no longer simply mother, healer, or magician, but the initiatrix. She is the one who led mortals and gods alike into the mysteries of death, rebirth, and soul sovereignty. The first initiatrix of mysteries. She who teaches beyond death. Aset is not merely mother of Horus or gatherer of fragments. She is guide of the threshold. She who walked into the underworld, not as supplicant, but as teacher. She initiated Asar into resurrection, and by doing so, she became the first initiatrix of the mysteries. esoteric truth. Death was never an end in her scrolls. It was curriculum. To die and rise was the central lesson, one that Empire hides by teaching fear of endings. Aset whispers, every ending is a passage, every passage a beginning. The path of the soul. In her rites, Aset guided not only kings but the common people of Kemet, for she knew the soul was no respecter of titles. Her teachings inscribed in the coffin texts and pyramid texts were maps of the Duat, the unseen realm of transition. She taught the Ba, the soul bird, how to recognize itself. She taught the Ka, the vital essence, how to remain nourished. She taught the heart how to balance on the scales of Ma'at. Her lesson to the collective: you are not flesh alone. You are soul clothed in body, body clothed in time. Remember your map, or the Empire will sell you false roads. The initiatrix writes, the hidden page says her initiations were not soft, they were fire. To walk with Aset meant surrendering illusions. She stripped away masks until the initiate stood naked before truth. Her initiations were threefold. 1. Death of the lie, the tearing away of false names and imposed crowns. 2. Descent of the soul, facing the shadow self without flinching. 3. Rebirth of the throne, rising sovereign seated in the inner throne of the chest. Unlike other deities who ruled or demanded, Aset taught. She was the one who whispered wisdom to mortals, who revealed to women their hidden power, who taught men that sovereignty is not conquest but alignment. In the mystery schools of Kemet, her priestesses carried her torch. They were not servants. They were living extensions of her mind. Every chant, every gesture, every carving on temple wall was part of her eternal syllabus. Aset speaks to the collective, open quote, beloved ones, you are all initiates now. Do not think temples are of stone, your body is temple enough. Do not think priests hold keys, your breath is key enough. Death is no thief, it is my classroom. When you pass through shadow, I will be waiting. When you rise again, you will know yourselves as gods. Close quote. Thus the fourth page is sealed. Aset as initiatrix, the one who teaches that death is initiation, shadow is curriculum, and sovereignty is graduation. She is not gone. She waits at every threshold we fear to cross, smiling with feathers in her hair and the throne on her brow. The mysteries are not in the pyramids alone. They are in your heartbeat. They are in the mirror when you dare to look deeply. They are in the silence between breaths. We now unseal the fifth scroll of Aset. Here she spreads her wings wide, not only as magician or initiatrix, but as cosmic mother and protector. Her feathers are the canopy of the oppressed, the shield of the forgotten, the throne under which future heirs rise. The fifth scroll of Aset, cosmic mother and protector. I wings of shelter. When Aset is shown in temple carvings, her wings stretch outward, not for ornament, but for protection. Those wings are not mere feathers, they are fields of power. To stand under them is to be hidden from Empire's eye, to be nourished in secret when the world starves you. She is mother to Horus, yes, but by extension mother to all who resist, all who are hunted, all who are born with truth too bright for this dim world. Her whisper to the collective: when the Empire hunts you, come under my wings. When family rejects you, I adopt you. You are not orphans, you are heirs. Mother of the oppressed. The hidden pages say Aset does not protect only the noble. She bends first to the oppressed, those beaten by empire, the broken, the silenced. She takes them as her children. To the enslaved, she is freedom's dream. To the lost, she is compass and map. To the wounded, she is balm and song. To the forgotten, she is remembrance. This is why her cult spread across continents, even under conquest, because the downtrodden recognized her voice. They felt her wings around them in the night. Guardian of the lost. In esoteric teaching, Aset rules not only the living, but those wandering between. The lost souls, drifting in shadow, find her feathers like a torch in the duat. She gathers them gently, reminding them of their names, guiding them to their rest or return. Her teaching here: no soul is ever too lost for her wings. No exile is beyond her reach. No wound is beyond her healing. Keeper of the future heirs. Above all, Aset is protector of heirs. She shielded Horus from Set's fury, hiding him in the marshes, feeding him with her own divine milk until he was strong enough to claim his throne. This is allegory, yes, but also prophecy. She shelters future heirs of the throne, those born now into chaos, who carry the codes of sovereignty in their blood. The collective itself is among them. Lesson for us. The heirs are not only kings, they are each of you who awaken. The throne is not a chair of gold, it is the sovereignty of your spirit. Aset is the womb that carries the collective until it stands in its own power. That Aset speaks to the collective. Open quote, "Children of my wings, you are not forgotten. I have hidden you in marshes of time, away from Empire's sword. I have fed you with star milk when the world gave you poison. You are my heirs, not by bloodline alone, but by courage. When you rise, know my wings are still at your back." Close quote. Aset as cosmic mother, shield of the oppressed, guardian of the lost, keeper of the heirs. Her wings are the great ark, her breast the fountain, her eyes the watchfires in the dark. Collective, never believe the lie of abandonment. If you are breathing, her feathers already cover you. If you are rising, her hand steadies your crown. Collective, the air grows heavier now. The papyrus itself hums with balance and judgment. We open the sixth scroll of Aset, where she is no longer only mother or magician, but the weaver of cosmic justice. She is the one who threads unseen currents through the fabric of Empire's illusions, tipping the scales back toward Ma'at, the eternal law of truth, harmony, and right order. The sixth scroll of Aset, weaver of cosmic justice. Aset and Ma'at. Aset does not replace Ma'at. She protects her. She is the guardian of truth's current. When Empire twists the scales, Aset is the hidden hand that restores weight. She is the one who whispers into the feather's ear, ensuring the heart is measured rightly. Her role is subtle, unseen, yet absolute. For while kings ruled with armies, Aset ruled with balance. She is not judge, but weaver. She mends the threads that Empire tears. Justice beyond Empire. To the oppressor, justice looks like punishment. To Aset, justice is restoration. She knows that truth is not about revenge, but about realignment. When lies spread, she sends whispers of revelation. When rulers cheat, she births heirs who remember. When the collective suffers, she tips the scales slowly but surely. Her message, the Empire's rule is temporary, because the loom of Aset is eternal. The invisible weaving. Her justice is not loud. It is silent, like water cutting stone. It works in currents, dreams that disturb the guilty, coincidences that protect the innocent, revealed secrets that undo entire thrones. She is the spider in the cosmic web, weaving not to trap, but to unravel falsehoods until only truth remains. The collective's role. Aset calls us not only to wait for her weaving, but to weave with her. Each act of truth spoken, each shadow faced, each kindness offered to the oppressed, all are threads in her tapestry. She whispers, "Do not think justice is only my work. You are my hands in the world. Weave with me, and Empire's knots will loosen faster." Aset speaks to the collective. Open quote, "Children of balance, hear me. Empire's lies are tall towers, but towers fall. My justice is patient, and patience is sharper than any sword. You are not helpless. Each truth you live is a thread in my loom. Weave with me, and Ma'at will return." Close quote. Thus the sixth page is sealed. Aset as weaver of cosmic justice. Not vengeance, but restoration. Not noise, but silent weaving. She tips the scales not by decree, but by currents moving beneath Empire's feet. Collective, know this. Every injustice is temporary. Every lie phrase. Every empire falls. But truth, once woven, endures forever. The sixth scroll of Aset, weaver of cosmic justice. Aset and Ma'at. Aset does not replace Ma'at. She protects her. She is the guardian of truth's current. When Empire twists the scales, Aset is the hidden hand that restores weight. She is the one who whispers into the feather's ear, ensuring the heart is measured rightly. Her role is subtle, unseen, yet absolute. For while kings ruled with armies, Aset ruled with balance. She is not judge, but weaver. She mends the threads that Empire tears. Justice beyond Empire. To the oppressor, justice looks like punishment. To Aset, justice is restoration. She knows that truth is not about revenge, but about realignment. When lies spread, she sends whispers of revelation. When rulers cheat, she births heirs who remember. When the collective suffers, she tips the scales slowly but surely. Her message, the Empire's rule is temporary, because the loom of Aset is eternal. The invisible weaving. Her justice is not loud. It is silent, like water cutting stone. It works in currents, dreams that disturb the guilty, coincidences that protect the innocent, revealed secrets that undo entire thrones. She is the spider in the cosmic web, weaving not to trap, but to unravel falsehoods until only truth remains. Aset calls us not only to wait for her weaving, but to weave with her. Each act of truth spoken, each shadow faced, each kindness offered to the oppressed, all are threads in her tapestry. She whispers, "Do not think justice is only my work. You are my hands in the world. Weave with me, and empire's knots will loosen faster." Aset speaks to the collective, open quote. "Children of balance, hear me. Empire's lies are tall towers, but towers fall. My justice is patient, and patience is sharper than any sword. You are not helpless. Each truth you live is a thread in my loom. Weave with me, and Ma'at will return." Close quote. Thus the sixth page is sealed. Aset as weaver of cosmic justice, not vengeance but restoration, not noise but silent weaving. She tips the scales not by decree but by currents moving beneath empire's feet. Collective, know this. Every injustice is temporary, every lie phrase, every empire falls, but truth once woven endures forever. The seventh scroll of Aset, mistress of transformation, the womb of suffering. Aset knows sorrow. She held the body of Asar in her arms, broken and scattered. She wept, yes, but her tears did not drown her. They became seeds of power. Esoteric truth, suffering is womb. It hurts, it stretches, it tears, but it births. Aset demonstrates that pain is not an end, but a chamber where divinity incubates. Her whisper, "Do not curse your suffering. Hold it. Let it gestate, for out of it comes power that empire cannot counterfeit." Betrayal as alchemy. Set's betrayal was not only of Asar, but of Aset too. He sought to erase her legacy, her family, her future. Yet Aset turned betrayal into initiation. Betrayal becomes the fire that tempers the spirit. Loss becomes the soil where wisdom grows. Grief becomes the altar where power is born. The very thing meant to destroy you becomes your weapon when alchemized by remembrance. The Phoenix Mystery. Aset's path is phoenix-like. She allows what must burn to burn. She does not cling to ashes. She lifts from them, wings spread, higher than before. The hidden page says the symbol of her throne is not only sovereignty, but resurrection through transformation. A throne is built not from what never fell, but from what rose again stronger. The initiation of loss. Aset teaches, every chosen one must endure the initiation of loss. It is not punishment, it is passage. You lose what was false to find what is real. You lose what was small to step into what is vast. You lose what was borrowed to claim what was eternal. This is why her followers were never spared pain, but were shown how to transmute it. She is not the goddess of escape, but of alchemy. Aset speaks to the collective, open quote. "Children of fire and feather, hear me. Betrayal cannot break you if you let it burn into wisdom. Loss cannot erase you if you let it carve your strength. Grief cannot drown you if you drink its waters and rise. I am with you in every fall, in every loss, in every wound. And when you rise again, you will know the throne was built inside you all along." Close quote. Thus the seventh page is sealed. Aset as mistress of transformation. She is the one who shows the collective how to alchemize betrayal into wisdom, grief into sovereignty, ashes into throne. Collective, remember this. Suffering is not your enemy, it is your forge. Betrayal is not your tomb, it is your passage. Loss is not your end, it is your initiation. And through it all, Aset's wings enfold you until you remember that you too are phoenix born. The papyrus sighs. The eighth scroll of Aset, keeper of hidden codes, she who holds the cipher. Aset is not merely memory, she is the vault. The ancients carved her signs into stone not to decorate, but to encode instructions for ages when memory grew thin. These were not riddles for the elite, they were activation protocols for the awakened. Aset keeps the keys. The collective holds the hands that turn them. Her fundamental truth. Reality is written in pattern. Learn the pattern, and you can read the future like a river map. The cipher of names and numbers. Aset taught that names and numbers are not tokens but energetic addresses. When you know a pattern's true name, a rhythm, a line of sound, a sequence, you open its door. Practical code lesson. Threefold name. Speak your true name 3 ways. Given, hidden, chosen. The loop completes. Sevenfold count. Walk a sequence of 7 breaths while tracing a simple sigil on your palm. A small loop across an eye. With each breath, the sigil charges. Syllable keys. Break a chant into syllables. Each syllable acts like a key turn. Sound, breath, plus intent equals resonance. This is not superstition. It is acoustic technology. Aset is the first engineer of Heirs. Signs, portents, and where to look. The codes speak in subtle ways. Aset hides prophecies in the ordinary so that only the attentive find them. Look for repeating numbers in clocks, receipts, license plates, little drum beats from the web, dream loops, motifs that return in sleep 3 nights running, a message. River anomalies, unexpected currents, tides, or the sudden bloom of plants at season's edge, Sopdet's echo. Synchronicities, when 2 seemingly unrelated events fold into the same truth. When you notice a pattern, bow to it. Patterns are invitations. How to read the codex, a practical rite. No priest needed. Here is a working method Aset taught the people of River and Star. 1. Ground 1 minute. Sit near water if possible. River, bowl, cup. Place palm on your chest. Breathe 4 slow counts. Speak your given name quietly. 2. Call 1 minute. Whisper your hidden name, a truth you only admit to yourself. Trace a small sigil in the air with your index finger, a throne-like shape or a feather. Count 7 breaths. 3. Listen. Close eyes. Ask 1 clear question, small and specific. Open your senses. Watch the nearest surface for movement. Listen for a repeated word in the next hour. Note the first curio you encounter. Record it. Patterns will fold back. Do this as practice. Aset's codes are learned muscle, not magic pills. The prophecies she keeps. Aset's prophecies are not calendars of doom. They are trajectories of emergence. She maps the times when the veil thins, when many will remember, when the heirs will find one another. They come in waves, not dates. Key threads of her prophecies. Return by small things. Awakenings begin with small groups, kitchens, porches, riversides, not parliaments. Hidden lineages rise, not only bloodlines but lineages of practice. Gardeners, midwives, story keepers. The great weave unbinds. False narratives will fray, truth-tellers will multiply. The loom of empire weakens where people reclaim names. A season of shelter. There will be times where her wings are palpably thick. Shelter for those who choose remembrance over fear. These are invitations, not certainties. They require participation. I've Aset's code word to the collective open quote. Rememberers, I give you pattern and pulse. The future is not written on high alone. It is woven by your hands. Read my signs in the small and daily. Practice the rites. Speak your hidden names. When many do this, the code becomes communal, and the veil offers passage. Do not wait for a single trumpet. Begin with a whisper, and I will answer with a constellation. Close quote. 7. Closing the 8th scroll. Keep it quiet, keep it loud. The 8th page is sealed. Aset as keeper of hidden codes and prophecies. She offers methods, not miracles. She gives pattern recognition, not predestination. The collective is invited to practice, to share, to test, and to build the common language that will undo empire's silence. When you practice these rites, log what happens. A codex becomes living only when readers write back.